The Ward County Commissioners held an executive session this morning about financial issues related to Project B. The county had distributed funds to the organization from the American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA. Ward County Commission Chair John Fieldal says they've decided to undergo a forensic auditing into how the funds were handled.
We don't know for sure yet, but it appears that these funds were mishandled, at least on the county side of funds.
He says they felt it prudent to take this route. The shelter closed abruptly in late December, but reopened some of its services 2 weeks later. They're holding open houses this Friday and Saturday.